Welcome to Salcedo Paranormal. It is Thursday, October 27th, 2022, and tonight I'm covering paranormal news. As always, you can find all the episodes of the show, along with links to social media, ways to donate, and ways to contact me at the podcast page. And that is salcedoparanormal.podbean.com. That's SALSIDO paranormal.podbean.com. Always happy to hear from you all, whether you have comments or questions or topic suggestions, or if you have stories of paranormal experiences, whether they're your own or from others that you trust. Happy to either read those or have you join me on the show to talk about them. And going through an extra long stretch of shows here. Started on Sunday and I'll be going through until next Thursday. Just because it is that time of the year, Halloween. And this is the next show in that series. And I think I've already announced everything. I think I might mention it at the end of the show. I guess I could do it now, really. Just a reminder, I have 2 extra shows this weekend. Tomorrow will be an extra True Paranormal Stories from the Web. And then that's all these shows are at the usual time, 8 p.m. Eastern. And on Saturday, I'll be having friend of the show, Michael Strange from Troubled Minds Radio, joining me. And we're going to keep the topic for that show a surprise until we get there. But it should be fun. I always enjoy talking with him. And so that's the plan for Saturday. Sunday, again, a reminder, it will not be the usual True Paranormal Stories from the web. Instead, it's going to be a call-in show where we all talk about our favorite paranormal media, whether it's movies or TV shows or books of any kind, including comic books. Looking forward to talking with you all about that. So if you have anything to share, just be around on Sunday, usual time, 8 p.m. Eastern. And I will be talking with you all at one at a time, of course, and about those things. So at least that's the plan. If not, I'll talk for about 20 minutes and then I'll probably end the show. But it will go longer, obviously, if we have people that want to talk. Monday will be the special Halloween show. That'll be with Derek. That we will be talking about Michigan. All the paranormal and strange things here in Michigan. And we've already been doing research for that, so that should be fun as well. And then Tuesday of next week, we'll go back to the usual kinds of episodes that we usually have on those other days of the week. So more true stories on Tuesday. Book review probably on Wednesday. And then news on Thursday. So now that I've gone into that whole thing, I do think it's important to keep reminding everyone, just in case someone doesn't listen to an earlier episode where I made these announcements. Really hoping that anyone that is able to be here can make it and participate in that call-in show, especially. So I have 5 stories that I found online that I'll share with you tonight. All the links are in the stream chat text channel, and I will include them in the episode descriptions of the podcast and YouTube feeds. And I think that covers everything. Thank you all for listening, as always, whether you listen to the live streams or to the podcast or YouTube feeds. It's always appreciated. So, this first article is from, let me see here, Courier Journal. I saw JOU for the other sound. Courier Journal. Apparently, it's just a hard word to say. CourierJournal.com. got there eventually. And this article, the title is "Some Say It's Downright Haunted: The Spooky Tale of This Former Kentucky Catholic School." And this is something you see in a lot of these older, larger buildings that used to house multiple people, whether it was a school or a hotel or a hospital. Um, it seems to pop. These kind of stories seem to pop up um, over time. And this is in Elizabethtown, Kentucky. Um, this is apparently south of Louisville, and this place, it says, is nearly 200 years old. So it describes the place here. Mentions a chained and padlocked black iron gate that is at the end of a long driveway, and has ivy going up the walls, and it's made of brick and faded gray plywood. It says covers some of the windows, and there are stone figures throughout the property, including a black bird figure that looks down from a gable. And this is there are letters on either side of this statue, B and A, and that stands for the Bethlehem Academy, which was a noted boarding school that was run by a group of sisters of Loretto. I guess they're called, and it was around for more than 100 years, and because of that, I think whenever you have a place that's around for that long, there are stories that form over time. So mentions that the site coordinator, uh, I'll use the first name of Cindy. I'm not sure about the last name, Scaracelli. I'm not sure. She says that there are people who think it's haunted, but then there are others that just look at the history of the place and want to renovate it. And so let's see here. This place, so this coordinator, I'm sorry, grew up in the area, who had 3 aunts that attended the school, apparently, which is really amazing. I'm sorry, this is someone else. A man named Thompson uh, had 3 aunts that went to school in this building. And so let's see here. So he knew the place because of his aunts staying there, apparently. He bought the place at an auction in 2014. And let's see here. But looking at this, looking for more of the reports, and let's see here. So this couple that bought this place did tours of it in order to stir up money for it for the renovation, which is understandable, and I have no problem with that. Apparently they did historical and um supernatural tours. And so let's see here. So let's see, looking at this. Um and it says tours stopped, of course, during 2020 to 2022. Um and let's see here. Looking at more of this. The couple wanted the um let's see here. Looking at this here, sorry. Um so looking at the activity, and there's a lot of on the history here. So apparently it's a lot more about the history of the people that stayed there And that is a sort of a kind of haunting in its own way. Um, and the tours that were done there, they would get um, sounds apparently, including EVP. Um, and this is neat though. Apparently, someone on the tour had a electronic voice phenomena reader. I never heard of it put that way. I thought it was just a recorder. But it was in a tour. Someone on the tour, the pocket of someone that was on the tour, and apparently it just started beeping. So that's odd. Um, I wonder if it was could have been a pressed button, possibly, but if not, then I wonder if there was something trying to reach out to them through that. And so let's see here. There was reports here of um, EVPs again, going back to that recorder, and let's see here. Looking at this more, and this is interesting because um, some people that go there don't have many experiences, and even the wife of the this Thompson that bought the place says she had hardly ever had any experiences. Um, so let's see here. But I'm sorry, it was the coordinator. This article is hard to just scan. Um, so let's see. Apparently, one of the workers there uh had. Looking at this here. Okay, so apparently there was this distinct smell of red wine that showed up, which is kind of odd. Um, I could see smoke if it's from coming from wood in the location, but that in itself is kind of really weird. Other reports there are self-rocking chairs and doors that swing by themselves. Um, and let's see here. Looking at the place, at the article here, and so yeah, neat article here, and there's a lot more in there than I'm able to cover. So um, definitely check it out. So I'll move on to the next one now. Let me see here. If I can click on the right spot, that'd be good. So yeah, these are most of these articles tonight will be about haunted places in a way. So this next one here is from WDAM.com, and the title is Ellisville's Decent House or Home. I'm sorry, rumored to house a Confederate ghost. This is in Ellisville, um, Mississippi, I believe, and these kind of stories are always amazing to me. These stories of soldiers from different wars. Um, I saw an M there. Anyway, that still appear in places. So the house, so this place is known as the Amos Decent House, which is a cottage located in the middle of Ellisville, and so let's see here. Um, there's supposedly a murder that happened there. It says, um, and then a haunting, possibly because of that murder. And so apparently there are reports of moving objects, and including a globe from an oil lamp. I'm guessing it's the glass part that would go onto the base. Just lifted up and moved to the side and then fell, and then of course broke. So the legend here says, or the story starts with a Confederate soldier with the last name of Knight, Knight, who deserted during the Civil War. And let's see here. And it was a Confederate soldier. And so another soldier that hadn't deserted, um, Amos McClemore, who was sent to capture him. And so he was sent to capture Deason. Let's see here. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Friend of Deason, who was the owner of the house. But Knight was the soldier that deserted. And so McClemore was invited by Deason, who owned the house, to stay there during a search for this deserter. And he tried to find Knight, but he never was able to. And so the legend says that Knight decided to sneak up on the porch, and because he was apparently aware that he was being chased after by McClemore. Not sure if I'm saying the name right at all. But and he killed this this officer that had been sent to capture him. And so now, let me see here. Looking at this, and let me see. Looking at the rest of this here. So Knight was captured after all this, and let's see here. Oh, I'm sorry, I misread that. Knight escaped, and along with several other men, and was never convicted of the crime. Tried or convicted of the crime, and even though McClemore wasn't immediately killed, he did end up passing away several days later. So apparently that's the source of the haunting of this soldier who was killed there. Let's see here. Mentions a lot of weird things happen in the house, according to the people that own and run it. There are rocking chairs again. This is something that you see in especially these older places, I think. Rocking chairs that move on their own, footsteps heard walking through the house, sounding like heavy boots. Other objects have been known to move. So, and that's gone through a few owners over time, and it's currently owned by a local chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution. So, let's see here. So yeah, really odd how these stories happen. I always wonder with these legends, or even if they're true legends, if it's actually the spirit of the person that the story says it is, or if it's something else that is being mislabeled. And it's hard to tell, short of having an apparition of this figure show up. It's hard to tell, and then have a conversation with them. I think it'd be really hard to tell. So, but these legends and everything are always interesting, even if it's just to try to explain what's happening in these places. So I have 3 more articles left here, and let's see here. Looks like everything's okay. All right. So this next one is from app.com. And let's see here. The title is An Inside Look at Paranormal Investigations at the Strauss Mansion in Atlantic Highlands. And this is a lot of pictures, actually. But this is apparently in the New Jersey area, I'm guessing. Yeah, okay. And this is just a look at all these pictures that this paranormal investigation group took. And looking at this here, so apparently this group of investigators um, learned that there were um, paranormal activity going on there for a long time, and let's see here. Looking at apparently there's a book on this that's stored in this mansion that seems to be a magnet for unexplained activity. Um, and apparently there have been many reports of activity. It's saying that, but it's not really going into the stories. But so it's a lot of pictures. I definitely recommend checking it out. Yeah, it keeps on repeating the same thing in a lot of above these below these pictures. But yeah, neat pictures, and definitely check it out for more details, especially the pictures, obviously, because that's mainly what this this article is. But that's not uncommon for things to revolve around objects that meant something to one or more people, and sort of as a battery for activity. So neat pictures there. Definitely check that out and go from there. So let's see here. This next one actually includes a video that you all can check out, and this is from uk.news.yahoo.com. And the title of this article is "Creepy Videos Show the Paranormal Goings On Inside Former Funeral Parlor." This is let's see here. This is located in the UK. It's and apparently it was a funeral parlor, and now it's an antique shop. And apparently these videos show objects mysteriously falling when there's not anyone there in this antique shop. And there's also video of mist floating through the air as well. So the owner of this place, last name is Parker, is and this was located in South Yorks. Said that things keep happening, have been happening ever since he opened up in 2014. Mentions that excuse me. The owner is mainly skeptical about any of these things, but he reports that seeing all the things on the CCTVs and then the other experiences he had while there, they have kind of started to change his mind a little bit. And this is something I've always wondered about antique shops. I think there's something to some of them, and this is not the first place I've heard of where there seems to be activity surrounding all kinds of antiques. And so apparently this building that the shop is inside of dates back to the 19th century. And let's see here. The in between the time as a funeral home and the antique shop, there was another couple. Let's see here. There was another store that was there between that. So looking at this here. Apparently the first time Parker noticed something weird was when or before the shop was open, and there was an electrician doing work on the wiring there. And this electrician apparently was there without the owner, and said there was glass smashed all over the floor. And so that's when Parker saw the the cabinet explode. That's quite extreme. Um, so of course, Parker looked at the footage more to try to find signs of a break-in or something that could have been thrown inside that could have made that cabinet explode, but didn't find anything. So here's something now. There's a medium that heard about the shop on social media and arranged to spend the night there to do some tests. Again, I do think there are plenty of genuine mediums out there, and then there's some that maybe not so much so. But according to this medium, they discovered the spirits of two small children in the store, and some people have suggested that these are the ones that are responsible for all these things happening. Maybe not even intentionally, not even in a malicious way, but just from playing around as kids do. Um, so, and there's other reports of what people think is going on there, and but neat article about sometimes, I guess, in some cases, the perils of having an antique shop, because there are times where it seems as though energy and or spirits do attach themselves to objects, and then if you buy that object and take it to your own home or to somewhere that it's anywhere really, that area might then have activity in it, and it's because of the energy or the spirit that is attached to that item. So um it's really weird. I have it's a cabinet or a hutch, it's called, um that every so often I get a weird, not so much anymore, but it used to give off a weird energy. Not bad, just kind of, it was like there was something there. Um, and I don't know for sure, but I don't doubt that in some cases objects can hold energy and or spirits that have ties to these items can stay near them. So let's see here. This last article is from history.co.uk. And I always like to share these articles when I find them. This one is 8 famous ghosts from history. And of course, this is because of it being so close to Halloween. And this goes back to about time as well. The first one I had never heard of. Um, and this is Pausanias, who was apparently a famous Spartan general who won a sea battle with the Persians. Let's see here, in 479 BC. Continued, it says, to make waves after his death. So apparently he was seen even after that. And let me see here. So what happened, according to the story here, is that even after this battle and after a falling out with the military, the Spartan military, Pausanias decided to change sides, and and he was captured, and then ended up being chased into this temple, the temple of Athena in Sparta, and when he was stuck in this building, he was um, captured by the people there, putting up a brick wall, basically sealing him inside it, behind it, um, until he passed away eventually. And so after that, this general spirit was said to wander around and make noises, moaning and screaming. And let's see here. So, and then eventually he was persuaded to leave by a so-called magician. So, I wonder if his energy just faded out. If this wasn't just a legend, of course, as well. Let's see here. So there's another one here. I don't know how to say. Um, but I will go over one more here. I'm just looking for the next one that seems interesting. Here's something I never heard of as well. Um, let's see here. So here's one that says the drummer of Tedworth. This was uh took place in the UK. It says it's one of the first examples of, or one of the most famous examples of a poltergeist in British history. It says that in March of 1661, let's see here, there was a drummer that was a middle-aged beggar by the name of Jury, to had his drum confiscated as a penalty for forgery. And it says that after that, the magistrate who arranged this had the drum brought to him, and after that happened, he would hear sounds of the drum being played with no one there. And this happened, apparently this haunting continued, it says, for months, and included beds being thrown around. Wow, extreme things here. Strange lights, and even the sounds of dogs and cats. This doesn't even sound like a regular person doing this. And apparently this happened. This is a case of a poltergeist that even supposedly physically attacked the people there at this house. And so let's see here. Apparently, this house became famous for this haunting, and people went there to find the figure out what's going on there and to experience the haunting itself. And but this is all while this drummer was still alive. And he claimed, in a couple of years later, that he was somehow responsible for the hauntings. It says causing them to happen remotely. And of course, at this point, he was tried for witchcraft and executed, I believe. Let's see here. No, actually, he was just exiled in a way from the country. And funny thing is that according to the story, while he was out of the country, the activity stopped. But once he came back to the UK, excuse me, the activity continued or started up again. And let's see here. So, and then eventually the activity stopped. I wonder if that was because the drummer had passed. Although you would think if he could do that remotely while he was alive, he might be able to do more after he had passed. Or maybe not. And of course, I don't see anything here saying for sure that this was, or how accurate this was. So, still one heck of a story anyway. So let's see here. And this article goes over some other famous spirits or ghosts or hauntings. And but there's a lot there to read, so I will definitely recommend you all check it out. The last one here, I think I will mention this because this has always been a neat one to me. And this is the apparition of Abraham Lincoln, U.S. president. And some people that look into these things may already be aware of this, but just for anyone that's not, um, after of course he was assassinated over the years, there are several people that have stayed in the White House, in the Capitol there, that have reported seeing the apparition of this of Lincoln, including Teddy Roosevelt, Grace Coolidge, who I'm guessing is somehow related to maybe even the First Lady. I'm not sure of President Coolidge. Even royalty and or other people from other countries, such as Queen Wilhelmina of the Netherlands, who fainted after seeing Lincoln's apparition. Which, if you're not used to any of that, I can see how that would happen. And of course, Winston Churchill also saw him. So, um, so yeah, really neat there. There are plenty of things you can look up online about hauntings in Washington, D.C. So I definitely recommend looking into that as well. So, and again, it's a list of 8. So I've just shared the 3 of those. So, definitely check out the rest of the article for those other stories. So, and that is it for today. And I'll be back tomorrow night with a bonus show, more true paranormal stories from the web. So, as always, thank you all for listening to Salcedo Paranormal. Have a great night.